I felt this big. Why Toni Braxton still isn't over Oprah's public humiliation and career sabotage. In the landscape of music legends, Toni Braxton stands out as an artist whose voice defined a generation. Her sultry ballads, unmatched vocal control, and elegance made her one of the most respected R&B voices in the industry. But behind the glitz and Grammys lies a darker story, one not about career missteps, but about betrayal, humiliation, and how a single interview with Oprah Winfrey, the queen of media herself, allegedly shattered Toni's confidence and tainted her legacy in the public eye. And now, years later, word on the street is that Toni Braxton still hasn't healed from the deep wound Oprah left. In fact, she's allegedly ready to re-expose the trauma, make her voice heard, and perhaps even demand accountability. But what exactly happened between these two powerful black women that turned admiration into resentment? Let's break it down. Toni's rise, the deals that broke her, and the bankruptcies. Toni Braxton didn't just arrive on the scene, she exploded onto it. With the release of her self-titled debut album in 1993, backed by heavyweights Babyface and Leah Reid, she was instantly crowned the new queen of heartbreak ballads. Songs like Breathe Again and Another Sad Love Song solidified her as a chart-topping artist. Her sophomore album, Secrets, brought the iconic single Unbreak My Heart, which went on to sell over 10 million copies globally. But while fans thought Toni was living a fairy tale, the reality behind the scenes was shocking. Despite selling more than 70 million records and racking up multiple Grammy Awards, Toni was making less than 35 cents per album. Her record deal was one of the worst in the industry, and by 1998, she filed for bankruptcy while embroiled in a lawsuit with her label, Lufface. To make matters worse, Toni's contract obligated her to reimburse the label for tour expenses, videos, styling, and even travel. By the time her royalties came in, less than $2,000, she was already in debt. In the public eye, however, the story was twisted. People weren't talking about predatory contracts, they were talking about Toni's spending habits. Enter Oprah, from hero to humiliator. Hoping to clear the air, Toni agreed to sit down with Oprah Winfrey during one of the lowest points in her career. She thought the interview would help set the record straight, paint her as a victim of industry exploitation, and win some public sympathy. But instead of a safe space, she walked into a public trial. "Welcome, Toni Braxton," Oprah said with her signature smile. "Do you take responsibility for the situation you're in right now?" Toni immediately responded with 100%, showing accountability. But Oprah didn't stop there. She leaned in with questions and commentary that Toni later described as demeaning and condescending. "I hear you have Gucci flatware. I'm Oprah Winfrey, and I don't have Gucci flatware." To Toni, the remark felt like a slap. She later said she didn't even know Gucci made flatware. And while Oprah's words might have seemed harmless to some, they had a devastating impact on Toni's public image. "Immediately she made me feel this big," Toni later recalled. "That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me." In hindsight, that single interview became a turning point. Instead of shining a light on the music industry's exploitation of artists, Oprah's line of questioning allegedly shifted the narrative to Toni's extravagance and spending habits. The damage was done. Toni's second bankruptcy and health struggles. If Oprah had truly wanted to understand Toni's situation, she might have looked deeper. By 2010, Toni filed for bankruptcy again, but this time it was due to health issues. She had been diagnosed with microvascular angina and lupus, both of which forced her to cancel a lucrative Las Vegas residency. Because insurance refused to cover the cancellations, Toni had to pay all the show's expenses out of pocket. And as any performer will tell you, stage productions don't come cheap. From the lighting to hotel stays, background dancers, band salaries, and costumes, it was all on her. "People don't understand," Toni explained. "You see a concert and the lights, but the artist pays for everything." So the second bankruptcy wasn't about overspending, it was about survival. Still, the public, influenced in part by that Oprah interview, painted her as irresponsible. Once again, Toni was made to look like she had failed financially because of greed. Was Oprah projecting her insecurities? In the years since, people have begun to question Oprah's treatment of Toni, and whether she projected her own financial fears onto the singer. Oprah has long been open about her thriftiness. She once said she would cut one leg off of ripped pantyhose and pair it with another single-leg one to extend their use. She reused her $3.99 eyelashes until they fit the contour of her eye. She even once confessed to skipping out on a $49.95 flatware set because she didn't think she could afford it, even after her first check in TV. To some, Oprah's minimalist tendencies were inspiring. But to others, particularly Black women in the entertainment industry, it felt like she weaponized those values against women who didn't share her same mindset. Monique, another Black female entertainer who's been vocal about her own experiences with Oprah, even shared Toni's interview on social media and wrote, "If you think Oprah only demeans Black men, it's because Black women have been made invisible. See for yourself with our sister Toni B., in case you forgot or never knew." The alleged career sabotage. What's more disturbing is the claim that Oprah didn't just humiliate Toni, she actively sabotaged her. According to a source, Oprah allegedly called LaFace Records before the interview aired and warned them, "Toni's on my show today. She intends to make you guys look really bad. But I think it's messed up, so watch the show." If true, this tip-off would be a colossal betrayal. Instead of supporting Toni as she tried to speak her truth, Oprah may have helped her enemies prepare their defenses. To this day, many fans consider it one of the most vile media betrayals in entertainment history. The weight of the family. Another layer to Toni's story is her role as the financial backbone of her family. She supported her mother after her parents' divorce and claims that most of her sisters did not help out, except for Tamar, who chipped in when she could. "None of my siblings have helped me take care of my mother except for Tamar. Trina and Tawanda charged me for working for me. Tamar never did." Even while dealing with lawsuits, chronic illness, and public scrutiny, Toni was still trying to carry her family. So maybe that Gucci silverware was never about extravagance. It was a small reward in a life full of sacrifice. The call for an apology. It's now 2025, and Toni Braxton has never received an apology from Oprah. Neither has Monique, nor Michael Jackson's estate, who also believe Oprah betrayed his legacy after his death. Many fans are saying enough is enough. Toni Braxton deserves a public apology, not just for the sake of healing, but to acknowledge how easily a powerful platform can distort reality. Let's be honest, Oprah helped shape public opinion in the early 2000s. When she suggested Toni's problems stemmed from excessive spending, people listened. But that narrative erased deeper issues: exploitative record deals, lack of industry support, and the toll of chronic illness. Toni once said, "I looked up to her. I loved her. I admired her, and she pretty much reprimanded me." And in that moment, Oprah's words did more than just sting, they rewrote Toni's story. Final thoughts. So does Toni Braxton deserve an apology from Oprah? Yes, absolutely. Because when powerful media figures like Oprah use their platforms to judge rather than uplift, the impact isn't temporary. It can last decades. Toni Braxton is a survivor. A woman who's endured public ridicule, health crisis, industry betrayal, and the pressure of being her family's provider. But she's also a legend. And even legends deserve compassion. Whether Oprah will ever apologize is anyone's guess. But one thing is clear: Toni's pain is valid. And no one, not even the queen of media, should be allowed to rewrite her story without accountability.